Hi everyone, how are you today? Thank you so much for joining me. This video is going to be the compilation of a bunch of rediscovered products that I'm really getting back into. Some of them I at one time was just gaga over, and then you try new things, time passes, you just don't use them as much. And then there are a couple things that I didn't even love that much when they were newer to me, and now I'm like, wow, I'm really enjoying that thing. I think we all have situations like that, where just a little time and space happens and then you realize, oh, this is truly good. My foundation and concealer combo that I'm kind of rediscovering, and I feel like it was about a year ago that I first got into it. It's the Kosas Revealer stuff. For a time, I feel like this was all anybody could talk about, like really natural kind of skincare meets makeup. It had great coverage on the skin, great staying power on me. Not in a real full coverage sense, but just there's a radiance about it that really wasn't fake looking. I mean, it's just good quality stuff. And then time passes, distance happens, and then you're not using it as much. Well, I'm using it again and I'm enjoying it a lot. So Kosas Revealer I wear in the shade Light Plus Cool. Does that say 180? Something's kind of scratched off the label. Light, but it's Light Plus Cool pink undertones. So I'm going to use this and apply it with a brush today. I'm going to use nearly a full pump and Dabberoo. American Idol is keeping me up late. I still haven't fully finished like the latest episode using my e.l.f. double-ended brush. But I did sleep in a little later today. I hit snooze 2 times. I just thought this is necessary. But I've applied this foundation with sponges and brushes. Either way seems to work. It's got that typical liquid foundation consistency. It does add a little moisture to the skin, but look at the kind of natural luminosity. It's a good one. So Belle is in 2nd grade and she always has a little homework every day, and it's normally something that she's very on her own with. She handles it. It's no big deal, but she hit a problem in her math last night that involved a number line. Any of y'all know about number lines? I'm trying to help and I don't know the first thing about subtracting on a number line or whatever it is. Add up to subtract. I was flat out confused. I was dumbfounded. Never have to do things like that. And she knew quite a bit about it because I started doing other problems, but it was something about this particular problem that wasn't jiving. And guys, the blessings of YouTube. What did I do? I looked up number lines. I educated myself on number lines last night, and doggone it, we figured out the answer. I wasn't gonna let that 2nd grade math keep me down. I thought, don't we have to get into pre-algebra before I start getting real confused here? It's already coming. And then I have the Kosas Revealer Concealer, 2.5C in this. Super creamy brightening concealer. They even put that on the label. And I at one point twisted it on too hard and I got a little crack in my cap, but it's still, I'm still holding on. I'm just dabbing it around all over. I've got a weird little situation on my lip and over here. It's a strange morning. I forgot the stevia in my coffee, so maybe that's it. We're gonna dab around, we're gonna spread, we're gonna dab. So this concealer, I really like it. I feel like it manages to cover super well, but doesn't look heavy. It's just a beautiful combo on the skin. I mean, things end up looking skin-like, but not makeup-y, but yet they have done something. They've covered some stuff. A nice little team. I believe probably a year-ish ago, I had a video where I really focused in on just the whole Kosas complexion, Trying to really hit the darkness in there. But look at this. Can you see what's happening on the surface of the skin? It just looks radiant, but covered. Not quite to full coverage, but knocking on the door, This combo, it's when you see them both together on the face, you're like, yeah, this is your reminder, dig it back out. I feel really good about that stuff. And I could pull in some Cloud Set. We know I like Cloud Set. We know I like the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless as an affordable alternative to Cloud Set. Someone did remind me that the Cloud Set is talc free, and that's beneficial to a lot of people, but I've been kind of getting back into my old classic Maybelline Fit Me, and that's the point of this video, or the things I've been kind of drawn back to. Rediscovered. I wear the shade Fair. I wonder how long I'm gonna own this stuff. I can tell a lot has been used out of it, but I mean, dang. So I'm gonna just use this with my little triangle friend here, triangle powder puff. It's an Amazon find. It's a good one. Yeah, this is old reliable, really. This was set in the under eye before I had 8 million ways to set the under eye. See, there we go. I'm getting kind of a healthy amount on, and then we'll dust away. And oh, by the way, I meant to tell you guys, when I've done the girls' cheer makeup, we were given like an eyeshadow palette. It even has the gym's logo on it, and it's got like 9 colors in it, but really there's 2 main ones we're supposed to use, the black and the purple. And the black kind of creates the outer V, and the purple is mostly over the lid, and they do create some fallout. So what I do whenever I'm doing their makeup is I do the full bake. Like I go hard and heavy with powder on the under eye, leave it there, do their eye makeup. I see the fallout coming, but I'm not worried about it because then I just dust it all away. And it's like the easiest method for them because I'm not having to go back in and make a lot of corrections, you know. And I like doing face first. That's just kind of my vibe. But you put that powder there, you dust it away, you got nice, perfect looking under eyes and no fallout whatsoever. And that's not a new technique. That's like an old school makeup artist thing. But just really works for that dark palette. And then they have a purple lip color that matches everything. And I get it, you know, it's about making the whole group look uniform down to every little detail. It makes difference. It makes a difference when they're at a big distance away from, you know, judges, audience, etc. But this purple lip is one of the NYX XXL lingerie, like liquid lipsticks. And if they don't mess with their lips, it will stay on all day. Like I can tell Belle will sometimes, you know, go like this and bite on her own lip. That will wear it away. But that stuff does last well. You can tell when it's there and when it's gone because it's purple. Stage makeup, you'll have that. But no, they had their last big performance. Like they did a showcase over the weekend, and the older all-star teams are going to Pensacola, I believe it is. I don't know if it's a nationals or what it is, but it's their big final competition, so they have this kind of send-off thing. But then these younger beginner type teams that my girls are on, they performed their stuff as well at the showcase, and it was fun. Next thing I've rediscovered, and I felt like I never really connected with it initially. It just was something where I used it, I liked it well enough, but I just didn't go back to it much. It didn't really end up clicking in with me. It's my one size little bronzer palette. It's called Made for Shade Bronze and Sculpt Trio, and this is the medium trio. So it has 3 different bronzer colors there. Is there a... There's a film I've never peeled. Oh, that really tells the tale, but we can do it together. I mean, I'm always eager to peel these films, and the fact that that got past me, look. Yes, kitten? Rosie Girl's never up here. What are you doing, huh? Felt the need to get involved? Heard stories? In terms of one size stuff, the blush trio has been what I've used a lot more of, and it's really neat. They have the cream, the powder, and then like a more luminous powder. It's kind of like the Patrick Ta vibes, really. I mean, if you hone in on a shade combo you really like, that's great. Rosie will do crazy stuff. She will climb on anything, so I'm a little concerned. She's thinking, how do I get on top of this mirror? Anyways, I'm gonna go into this middle color. So yeah, the top has a lot of warmth, and then this one's like really light cool. And that middle one is kind of like dead on perfect base bronzer color. And they are matte, but I like the little nature of a palette. And they're pigmented and they look good. It's a little break from all the cream stuff, you know? So I'm still sticking in that middle one. Try not to take it too far in or too low. Sometimes we just want to go wild. That's my coffee cup warmer, kitten. Don't get too involved. So I've just used this one shade pretty much all over just to get, you know, my contours and my face going. I want to take the sunnier one now, just lightly, and let that kind of come in over the top, because that feels right. And then like even higher, like kind of where I might do blush, and straight over the nose. Just give the skin some color. It's still a little chilly this week outside. Still rocking some long sleeves for a little while longer. But yeah, here we go. We're bronzed. Did I put too much on my nose? And then my big Rediscovered blush love, this one from Milani. It's Tea Rose in the Rose Powder blushes. These are gorgeous, gorgeous, pigmented, beautiful matte blushes. Romantic Rose is the more dusty rose option. You got Coral Cove, which is a really vibrant, beautiful orangey coral. And I've used both of those more than this one, this classic pink. Really pretty cool pink. And I think it just looks so nice and fresh on the cheeks. Really, really pretty. Look at that. Ooh. I've just been wanting to grab for this color. What was the video where this originally came out to play? I'm trying to remember. But yeah, there's something about a matte blush. It has a perfecting quality. Like, it contributes to the whole coverage goal of the look. Also from Milani, this comes under the heading of never loved it as much as it should have been loved when it was newer to me. There were other Milani highlighters. The Afterglow one that I've talked about a lot. This one always got the most attention and love from me. I just really thought this felt high end, and this is a mini of it. But it's the Strobe Light highlighter in Afterglow. Really nice, really pearly, beautiful on the skin, can go hard, can go soft. You decide. But this baked highlighter in Dolce Perla, I think I'd just seen other people using it, and it made me think, ooh, I own it. Why have we not connected yet? And it's super brightening. And look at that, just real pretty sheen it creates, but it's not too much. It kind of reminds me of that brightening glow that I get from the L'Oreal Lumi little highlighter quad palette. Some highlighters just give you shimmer, and some really just look like they're making the face glow and are giving more of a brightened thing. And this is one of those brightened up highlights. So I'm just getting her everywhere. I'm gonna even put it on the Cupid's bow since we covered up that zit that's literally on my Cupid's bow right there. Add some shimmer on top of that. I hadn't really picked out a setting spray, but we're gonna use the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Longwear. I've been using that a lot lately. I applied a little extra on the mist there because even though we've got that nice juicy Kosas revealer on, I had a lot of matte steps that kind of top things off, and I just felt we needed to bring a little glow back in even on top of the highlight. So there we go. On brows, I didn't really pick out anything specifically, so I'm just going to use my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer in the shade Dark Brunette. That will work. Anyone else got kids who are really into squishmallows? Belle is, and of course she's got a deep emotional connection to each and every one of them. And I had gotten her one as some kind of little reward for something she did. I ordered it off of Target, and I swear I looked at the size and I thought, oh, that's gonna be like, you know, this big-ish, like small to average size squishmallow. Well, it comes, and apparently this squishmallow came in like 2 sizes, and I ended up with the larger of the 2. It's the one that's like a pink Bigfoot or something. It's like this big. It's so big. They already take up so much room on her bed. I own one squishmallow, the corn, and I do love it. I mean, they're great. They're cute. They're incredibly soft. They are indeed super squishy, but this needs to stop. I know they got like some miniature ones. That's the kind of collecting we need to move into. The tiniest size possible. She owns an actual book that is the collector's guide, and I think that's the problem. Don't be getting them the collector's guides. Then that gives them too many goals. We don't need them to have a whole goal. What's going on there? Who goes there? It's Biddy. Biddy also likes squishmallows, but I don't think it's quite to the point of obsession. Okay, and then I'm going to use my Hard Candy Teddy Brow in the shade Brunette. Biscuit, you didn't come up at first today. Biscuit's like, I'm back. What were you busy with down there? I got a little, like, much right there.
Whenever I hear her talking, I want to be on a video because I know she's on a video.
A video?
Yeah, because,
calling it a video?
Yeah, because,
instead of just a video?
Yeah,
you're
because
Biddy?
yeah.
How are you doing today?
Good. Yeah.
Oh, I just remembered. I think it's a lunch day that I need to make a lunch.
Yay!
And I didn't put the cold packs back in the freezer. Oh no. Where there's a will, there's a way. Or you could just eat the Salisbury steak or whatever. No. What's exactly wrong with it?
Too steaky.
It's too steaky and messy. I'm gonna be keeping Bunny in here for the rest of the video. I love you. So whenever I have these different video ideas, I always feel like there's something leading the charge, you know, there was something that got the whole idea going. And in this case, it's the eyeshadow palette. And this was an eyeshadow palette that I felt like when it was new, I never really fully connected with it. Like, I knew it was a nice looking neutral palette. I liked the mattes in it. Some of the shimmers were just a little fussy, but I do like the looks it turns out. Like, I will work with them. I will pat them on with my finger if need be. It's not that big a deal. But I'm talking about the Too Faced Born This Way Natural Nudes. I've just been diving back in, and it's pretty. And I enjoy it, and I like the looks I get. The mattes are very smooth and easy, a nice easy gradient. Blending ends up happening pretty effortlessly with them. And even though some of these shades are kind of like, oh, you gotta build it a little bit. Maybe there's a little flake going on. Like, I feel like I'm more willing to work with it now for some reason than I used to be, and I like it. And you guys know they put out the Sunset Stripped version of this palette that has, I think, maybe a little more richness in the way of some of the mattes. I kind of immediately felt good about that one, but this one just took me longer to warm up to, I guess. I'm gonna take the warm rose color right here. So it's, you know, really not super dark, but it will contour this area, this creasal region. But tell me in the comments section, what's a palette that's like this for you? You got it, you didn't immediately connect with it, but you came back and actually not only tolerated it, but really realized you liked it. See, this warm rose shade can build. So see that? We just got that big wash of color there in the crease. I'm gonna blend over it just bare. It's the edge. I'm gonna do a little bit of seashell. This is a really nice kind of like on the border color. Got a little warmth, but overall I feel like it takes shades and blends them back into my skin pretty well, as does the lightest color called Swan, that lightest matte. We'll use that too. See that? Nice, pretty, easy crease action. And then maybe we want to darken it up a little bit. I feel like these mattes are a little bit richer than they appear. We're going to go into Cocoa right here. It's kind of like the cooler brown. I'm going to add that into my crease also. But just a nice smoothness, a nice ease. Remember the Natural Eye palette from Too Faced? In the original packaging, it had a big eye on it, and it was in cardboard, and it had like 9 shades, and that was one of the first things I ever bought from an Ulta back in the earlier channel days. Actually, I was in not the apartment, but our first house. I remember that trip. We were like getting furniture, I think, in St. Louis, and I got to go into an Ulta for the first time. We weren't actually in St. Louis, we were in Fairview Heights. We've got a beautiful deep matte brown here called Truffle, and I use this one a lot in this way. And I'm patting it on the outer lid. Too Faced has always been really good with their mattes. And seeing as I get so much enjoyment out of the matte setup of a look, like, it doesn't really surprise me that I did eventually come back to this one. Okay, so that's dark cool brown on the outer lid and into the crease. And then something I like to do is take this sparkling sable shade. See that brown shimmer right there in the little square? I take that with my small pointed brush, and I use that as kind of my crease softener. So I just have a little bit on the brush, and I work it out a little bit, and I've still got a nice darkness, you know, but it just kind of brings it out and softens it. I feel like I'm not even trying hard, but this looks so good. I mean, think graduation's coming up, special occasion vibes. Is this as exciting and just completely fun as Italian Spritz? No, it's for those who really aren't interested in putting a lot of color into the look, but maybe you don't mind some different textures. You like to keep it neutral. Look at this. Ugh, I love. And then I'm going to take some of that sparkling sable, same brush, and she's going to go under the eye too. Over the weekend we had Papa John's pizza for the first time in ages. We don't have one in our immediate town, but like we realized it's on Grubhub, so it can still be delivered even though we're kind of outside of the store's delivery area. It was so darn good. Stuffed crust, sausage and mushroom. There we are. And then I'm gonna put some kind of shimmer on the lid. I don't know which one I'm gonna choose. This glistening snow, you know, this is a little, I see why I was at one point frustrated. A little bit of flake going on there. Sparkling rum, I feel like should be more than it is. Like it's kind of soft, but I did take that the other day and I did some padding with it. So sparkling rum, I'm talking about this one right here. It's just got a firmness in it that, you know, if you really work your finger onto it, you can get some up, but it wants to be like this softer glaze. But I'm patting that on the center of my lid, kind of transitioning away from the darkness a bit. And if you're willing to do this with your finger, if you're willing to pick up a healthy amount on your finger, you can make it work. I'm not sure if you can see what's going on in the center of the lid, but there's some shimmer there. And then I do really like this one called Rose Gold right here. She picks up well, right there. Feeling like I'm kind of pressing it in because there is maybe just a little flake tendency on some of these. But look, so pretty. Like there's depth in the eye where I want depth. There's kind of just a delicate quality to the overall look. Really enjoyable. And then what happens if we take a little glistening snow? I just see a few more particles in that shade. I wish it was hanging together a bit more than it does. But anyway, I do end up loving the finished result every time I use it. And I think a big part of it is the dark brown. This dark shimmery brown plays a nice role. I really enjoy all the mattes and some shimmers more than others. I don't really feel like doing eyeliner today. I think I just want to do a nice pretty lash. I'm going to use my Lawless One and Done. This one is really hitting a nice sweet spot for me right now. It can be very thickening and pretty. It has a little spikies on the very tip of the brush, really short bristles, and it is pretty close to a superhero effect. Like it loads up the lashes fairly fast. And it's just one of those legitimately big lash look mascaras. Look at that. See, look at this. Isn't this a nice mascara? I like when things get so quiet you can hear an airplane in the sky. There's an airport not too terribly far from us. It's not like a huge airport, but if you listen closely you can hear the planes that have like recently taken off and are heading for St. Louis. Like if you really get in there with this one, this is an impressive lash for me. This is going there. I got a little bit on my lid over here, but I'll be able to flake that off. I'd gone through one tube of this and then I think I randomly got sent some more from Lawless PR. Oh, it's in a hard spot. I'm gonna use Cali Ray on my lowers. Sometimes just the act of doing some mascara on the lower lashes, it can be the thing that makes your whole eye look seem a little more finished, like a little more done, if you know what I mean, even if it's pretty natural. Like something about seeing some darkness, seeing some product on the lower lashes just can fully complete things. I'm wanting to blink really hard, but I know I can't. My eyes feel dry. One of the hardest things to communicate with kids that you are putting makeup on is the active, slow, gentle blinking after a product gets put on, like eyeliner and mascara, and not clenching the eye shut really hard. So all-star cheerleading. If you're familiar with the all-star cheer world, you know, you have a cheer gym and that gym may have multiple teams and those teams may be like freshly renamed year after year. But you know, it's not like you have to just have the tigers, the bears, the dogs, you know, the names are going to be like fluffed up a little bit. For example, the gym my girls are at, they went with a 90s theme for this season. And like Biddy's team is TLC, Belle's team is Barbie Girls. There's a team called Clovers. There's a team called Pink Poison. There's the Ice Ice Babies. You got all these squads, okay? And it's kind of cutesy. We went to a competition and they're like, and winning a superior award for tiny blah, blah, blah. The tiny toucans. Tiny toucans? I mean, how cute is that? There were a lot of teams at the most recent like St. Louis Collinsville competition thing and I was like, Oh my gosh. And so I go through my everyday life and things will pop into my head and I'm like, okay, that would be my all-star cheer gym. And I thought, what about Elton John themed like animals? For example, we've been big into Sing, and there's Yellow Brick Road. There's a line in that song that goes, back to the howling old owl in the woods, hunting the horny-backed toad. And so I would have Howlin' Old Owls, that's gonna be my senior team. Horny-backed toads, those are going to be the juniors. I'm gonna do Crocodile Rockers, that's gonna be the mini team, and then the tiny team is gonna be the Honky Cats. Okay, and you could probably dig deeper into Elton John and find more animal themed teams. But could you imagine? Nothing cutesy about it. And now for our junior level 4, the horny-backed toads. And I'll just be like living my life like making Bubba's lunch, and I'm like, no, potato themes, the tater tots, the waffle fries, twice baked potatoes, do a whole potato theme, do a whole snack theme. I don't know, am I giving up too many good ideas here? Just free for the public? I don't know. If I ever had a cheer gym, just watch out. Now that this is kind of dry, will my lashes accept one more coat? It's not really building right now, but that's fine. I feel really good about the lash. 2 rediscovered lip things, very specific here. This one from MAC. The day I chose Chili over Twig, from that next day on, I've been all about Twig. This is said to be the lip color that Joey wears in Dawson's Creek. It's so pretty. It's so me. I'm wearing it today. This is a satin finish. A lot of people tell me Belle looks a lot like Katie Holmes, and I see it. And I think as she gets older, it's only going to become more apparent. Look at that. And then I've been getting back into my e.l.f. Ride or Die lip balms. I have a couple shades. I have like a brighter pink one, and then this is the one I've been using mostly. It's the one called Tough Cookie. These have a lot of color on their own, and they're like thick. You gotta squeeze them. And it shows like some opaque color as is, but it's kind of pretty on top of stuff. And they smell good, like vanilla. Like, look at that. Juicy. We could do a gym with all makeup theme names. Oh, the Powder Puffs. Full coverage. The Blush Babies. What is going on in there? It ain't time yet. Okay, so here is my finished look, everyone. Made out of products that are definite rediscovered loves for me. Guys, what's the deal? What's the story? Say sorry.
Sorry.
Like you mean it. Bring in that squishmallow. I was talking about squishmallows on here. Show them the size of this Bigfoot. I mean, this is just... Oh, okay, there's that little... This is so big. I mean...
It's bigger than your...
And you knew it was going to turn out to be this big, but I thought it was going to be like literally a third of this size.
Yeah, maybe it would be the size of this.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be about this size. Turns out to be this. Okay. Be on your way. Take your squishmallow and leave.
We heard her singing the honey because she was the howling owl.
Well,
pretty right.
I was just letting people know that I thought it would be fun to have a gym theme of Elton John animals. People may agree, they may disagree. We'll find out in the comments section, okay?
Howled owls and horny-backed toads are not that. Elton John does not sing back to the humble owl.
That's what he says. He says, back to the howling old owl in the woods, hunting the horny-backed toad. That's what he... get in there, Biddy. Get in.
No, Mommy, can you take this out?
I don't know about this. I need to sign off, and then I have a few things to do. I'm not keeping you in the makeup room. It's time to go back to your bathroom. Whether you're gone or not, I need to end this video. Okay, the people, I need to let them go. I enjoyed the way this face came together with the rediscovered loves. I thought the Kosas Revealer stuff was honestly really good. Another high point for me was the Too Faced palette. That lip color, that blush. It's all working for me, okay? I enjoy it. And that's what it's all about. The world doesn't have to enjoy whatever you choose. You need to enjoy it, okay? So dig into your stuff, see what you haven't maybe picked up in a while. Oh my God. If that's a library book and that's a pen, the pen does not go anywhere. Anyway, thank you guys so much for your time today. I love you, and I will see you again very soon.
Wait.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Hello Lost and Horny Back Toads. Bye, Huggy Cats and Crocodile Rockers.